What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I'm here today to do my first official video of 2020, and I'm going to be doing a top 10 list for you guys, and I'm going to run down my favorite albums of 2019. But before I get into that, I got a couple of things I want to run down first. First of all, I hope everyone had a really good holiday, Christmas, whatever the hell you happen to celebrate it, and of course, a very happy New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Hopefully none of y'all partied too hard or went too crazy. Second of all, I'm filming on a brand new camera. I got myself a new camcorder over the weekend, and I'm very curious to see how things are going to work out and pan out. And over the course of the next several weeks, months, and particularly years ahead, I'm going to be toying with some new ideas, some new angles, some new lighting. Definitely want to try to get some better quality videos and content out to you. Of course, what won't change is the high level of extreme metal that gets put out in the new year, and hopefully I will be covering what I feel is some of the very best and some of the very brightest within extreme metal and so on and so forth. We're entering the 10th year of this channel's existence, and I definitely want to be at my A game for not only myself, but for all of you wonderful subscribers. Alright, now that I got that out of the way, let's get back and reverse gears to 2019. What an absolutely insane and crazy year 2019 was in terms of high quality music, high quality extreme metal. There was a lot to think about and consider, and I ultimately whittled everything down to just 10 records. This was a very hard list to make, probably one of the hardest lists I've had to come up with in quite some time, but I'm very happy and satisfied with my choices, and maybe some of you might be as well. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But first, what we're listening to in the background is a little bit of an honorable mention. Serpentian with The Divine Harm. Yeah, outstanding Austin, Texas-based death metal released through the very reliable Goat Throne Records. You have people such as the likes of John Zig and Sean Hudson and SWAT from Infernal Dominion. Just some really high-quality people involved from the Texas metal world involved in this band, and this is definitely some high-quality death metal. If you haven't heard Serpentian, I would highly recommend you check it out. This is some really good stuff. Alright then, y'all know the routine. This list is opinion, not fact. This is my list, not yours. Let's get this party started. Coming in at number 10, Danam, Ageless Fire. Yeah. One day I decided to listen to Ageless Fire again after not listening to it for a little while, and listening to this album again really reminded me why I fell in love with this album in the first place, and why I think Danam are such a genuine entity in American black metal. In terms of the songwriting, in terms of the lyrical content, in terms of just overall being strong, muscular, and glorious, Ageless Fire is one of those albums. This band put out a really, really great full-length with Realm of Sacrifice, but for them to follow it up with something even better, something more well-established like Ageless Fire, this is just absolutely beautiful stuff. I mean, if you liked the more melodic Viking sort of era of Bathory, you will find something really, really special here with Ageless Fire. And I definitely commend everyone in this band for putting out such an absolutely beautiful record. Listening to songs like Jaws of Rapture and Under the Banner of Death just make you really appreciate what a band like Danam are all about. And I definitely think this is a really, really top quality record. If you have not heard Ageless Fire, I would definitely recommend you give this album a shot, and you will find a reason to fall in love with it. So number 10 on my list is Danam with Ageless Fire. Coming in at number 9, Departure Chandelier, Antichrist Rise to Power. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that you've seen this album become the brunt of a whole bunch of memes lately, whether or not you love or hate the album, but I definitely see why it is getting the heavy sorts of popularity that it has gotten since the time of this album's release. And I definitely would consider this album to be very much worthy of the hype, the praise, and often sometimes the ridicule. I definitely think this is a very, very strong and sturdy piece of historical black metal in terms of the concepts, in terms of the lyrics, and just being overall unique and special. Of course, this is a project that features members of such projects such as Akitsa and Ashpool, and them coming together full circle to deliver this debut full-length is just absolutely amazing. I love the historical artwork being used and the concepts being brought for this record. Napoleonic War black metal, as they so lovingly refer to it as. Just really, really cool stuff. And I think this album is definitely worthy of having been in the trenches for so long and then finally being put out. Sound really well. I love the riffs, I love the vocals, I love the musicianship. Very top quality songwriting here. Departure Chandelier are absolutely the real deal, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing what they do next, regardless of whether or not they become meme more or not. But coming in at number 9 is Departure Chandelier with Antichrist Rise to Power. Coming in at number 8, Ultra Sylvam, The Spear Wound Salvation. Yeah. This is another full-length album that came out earlier in 2019 that I had another chance to listen to over and over again. I mean, when I first heard this album, I really, really enjoyed it. But then when I went back for some repeated listens, I feel like there was more stuff to be appreciated with this project. For the fact that they have such a badass renegade sort of approach to them in terms of their vocals, in terms of their lyrics. I definitely feel like this is one of those bands that really is trying to set their own footnote in black metal and not try to ride off coattails of others. I mean, if you ever read interviews with this band, I mean, I don't think they do much interviews, but I think they did that one for that Bardo Methodology website. I read that interview, and I could definitely tell that this was a band that wants to lead their own path. And with the Spear Wound Salvation, they did just that. It is just straight up, rugged, rough, and tough Swedish black metal. And I definitely think that this album showcases a lot of great qualities here. In terms of the vocals, in terms of the visual artistry, in terms of the lyrics. Some of the lyrics on this album are in their Swedish tongue, but I definitely think it adds more mystique, draw, and character to what Ultra Sylvam ultimately hope to accomplish with this album. And like the previous band that I mentioned with Departure Chandelier, Ultra Sylvam, I'm looking forward to seeing and hearing what they decide to do next with their respective musicianships, with their respective career, and how far they decide to go. I definitely think this band is going to become a bigger deal in years to come, and with the Spear Wound Salvation, this is an album definitely worth loving and paying attention to over and over again. So, number 8 on my list is the Spear Wound Salvation by Ultra Sylvam. Definitely go check this one out. Coming in at number 7, Titan Blood, The Baneful Choir. Yeah. I fucking love Titan Blood. If it shouldn't be any shock or surprise to you, I feel that this band is one of those... I mean, I say this a lot about Titan Blood, but I definitely feel that they're a band that can do no wrong, no matter what they do, what they get involved in, or how they get things done. The Baneful Choir is Titan Blood at their most well-rounded and their absolute beefiest, because I always consider them to be just 2 people, but they added 2 more people into the band to make it a more full band dynamic. And listening to this album, I definitely feel that this is the proper follow-up to Seven Chalices in certain ways, with songs like Black Vertebrae, Inhuman Utterings, the title track, Charnel Above. Just a lot of wild and crazy stuff going on here. The crazed vocals, the maniacal riffs, the great drumming. Just some very, very awesome songwriting going on here. In addition to the artwork, the lyrics, just the overall ebb, flow, and creativity of what Titan Blood know how to do. And they do that very well here with the Baneful Choir. I definitely like this direction that Titan Blood are going in right now. And I'm very curious to see what the next step Titan Blood takes in their overall sound. It is just absolutely nuts. I love this new style of Titan Blood, and I'm looking forward to hearing more. So, yeah. Number 7 on my list is The Baneful Choir by Titan Blood. Go check this one out if you haven't already. Okay, coming in at number 6, Blood Incantation, Hidden History of the Human Race. Yeah. This is another band that I knew was going to get a lot of hype and a lot of attention with their newest full length. Whether you love or you hate them, or whether you're anticipating or not anticipating them, Blood Incantation are the real deal. They proved that with the Interdimensional Extinction EP, and of course with Star Spawn, but they had a lot to cover here with this new full-length album, and it is just absolutely balls to the wall crazy. I don't know in hindsight if I think it's better than Star Spawn, but I think Hidden History of the Human Race has its own sort of special qualities and unique details. In terms of the classic artwork that they used for the album cover, to the lyrical content, to the hidden things done in between artwork, the lyrics. I mean, getting to hear these songs played live in full form was a real treat. But hearing this on record makes things all the more energetic and entertaining. I mean, songs like the Giza Power Plant, and of course the powerhouse 4th track of this album, Awakening from the Dream of Existence to the Multidimensional Nature of Our Reality, Mirror of the Soul. Holy shit, that last track is such a doozy. I love everything about it. I love how elaborate and detailed it is. I love how musically tight-knit and wound it is. It is just an absolutely phenomenal song. Definitely something that you need to see and witness live, but overall, I still think Hidden History of the Human Race is a phenomenal album. Blood Incantation are definitely going to get better and stronger and morph and evolve into something even crazier and crazier from here. I definitely am excited for this band's future, and I can't wait to see them live again. So, number 6 on my list is Blood Incantation with Hidden History of the Human Race. We're getting into the top 5 now. Coming in at number 5. Full of Hell, Weeping Choir. From Baneful Choir to Weeping Choir now. Yeah, it really shouldn't be any surprise as to how many of y'all know how I feel about this band and how much they all mean to me as both musicians and as people. And with Weeping Choir, I definitely feel like they were continuing in the same sort of unique pathways that they have been for previous records. I think they definitely test the waters and try to do things that they've done before, but a little bit more elaborate, a lot more crazier. Incorporate elements of death metal, black metal, harsh noise, power electronics, industrial, all that sort of stuff here. I definitely think that Weeping Choir is another fantastic album in this band's discography. In hindsight, I definitely think that Trumpeting Ecstasy is a lot better, but I think that this album is special in its own way. I mean, listening to songs like Burning Myrrh, Aria of Jeweled Tears, Armory of Obsidian Glass with Lingua Ignota on the track is just an absolutely amazing song. Silmaril, Angels Gather Here. Lots of memorable songs on this album, and definitely stuff that will be mainstays in this band's live performances for many years to come. But if you're a Full of Hell fan, I definitely would recommend giving this album many more multiple listens. I mean, if it didn't click with you, I recommend that you probably give it another shot, because this is an absolutely phenomenal and beautiful album in many ways, shapes, and forms. This band is so busy and so consistent. I have no idea what 2020 is going to hold for them. I do know there is that new project coming out between Dylan of Full of Hell, Lingua Ignota, and Lee of the Body. I'm looking forward to hearing that and seeing how that works out well. But until then, Weeping Choir is a great record in its own right. So number 5 on my list is Full of Hell, Weeping Choir. Coming in at number 4, Haunter, Sacramental Death Qualia. Yeah. Probably one of the best and hardest working local bands that I've ever seen and heard. And seeing how Haunter have evolved and grown as musicians and as people throughout the years is just absolutely phenomenal. I really loved what Haunter did with their previous early material, and of course with their debut full-length in Ethernadia. But here on Sacramental Death Qualia, we get the next step and evolution of this sound. The progressive elements, the death metal elements, the black metal elements, the inclusion of harsh and sung vocals just makes for an altogether phenomenal package. And here with Sacramental Death Qualia, you really are going to love and appreciate what Haunter have done with their musical styles and sound throughout the years. It's just really, really special. I mean, Dispossessed Phrenic Antiquity, Subversion of a Heathen Tongue, Sacramental Death Qualia. The title track is just absolutely bananas. I love that song. I love the musicianship. I love the lyrics. I love the vocals. Just an overall fantastically tight-knit package this album brought. And I'm very, very much looking forward to Haunter to continuing their forward progression to being one of the best Texas metal bands on the planet, one of the best metal bands on the planet, period. So yeah. Number 4 on my list is Sacramental Death Qualia by Haunter. Coming in at number 3, Imprecation, Damnatio ad Bestias. Yeah. Imprecation are absolute legends and icons within Houston, Texas-based metal and Texas death metal in general. This band is very important and very meaningful. And how they followed up their debut full-length from 3-4 years ago with something very, very special like Damnatio ad Bestias is really, really amazing. Songs like Temple of the Foul Spirit, Baptized in Satan's Blood, Dagger, Thurible, Altar of Death, just an overall continuation of what they did on their debut full-length. Having a hard time remembering the name of the album by memory, but anyway, Damnatio ad Bestias, Imprecation doing Imprecation things, just some really, really great, deadly riffs, great bass tones, awesome drum work, incredibly disgusting vocal work, just an overall classic record, and Imprecation deliver another masterpiece here with Damnatio ad Bestias. I definitely can't recommend this one enough. So yeah, number 3 on my list is Imprecation with Damnatio ad Bestias. Definitely check this one out. Coming in at number 2, Helvatron, Trident of Tartarian Gateways. Yeah. You're probably thinking to yourself, where is Nyonthbliz in all of this? Don't worry, I'll get to that eventually, so hang tight. But Helvatron came out with music first, so in the interest of fairness, I want to give this second spot to Helvatron here with Trident of Tartarian Gateways. Helvatron are a fantastic band in my opinion, definitely merging the worlds of doom and black metal together so well and so splendidly. Death Scroll of Seven Hells and its Infernal Majesties was a fantastic debut, but I thought it was way too short. This band roared back into the swing of things in 2019 with Trident of Tartarian Gateways and delivered an absolutely brilliant, lengthier record in terms of concepts, in terms of lyrics, in terms of occult mysticism. This album is the whole total package, and I'm super thrilled and pleased to hear how well this album sounds. Yeah, Queen of the Void, Lustful Witchcraft, Draconian Witch Blood, Blood of Ancients, just some really great stuff going on here. I really love and appreciate what Helvatron did with this full-length album, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing and hearing what they decide to do next, whether they make more music, whether they play live some more. I know they're playing Destroying Texas Fest in 2020, so this should be fun times had for all. But yeah, like I said, don't worry about Nyonthbliz. I'm going to get to that within the coming weeks ahead, so stay tuned for that. But until then, I gotta give respect where respect is due. So coming in at number 2, Trident of Tartarian Gateways by Helvatron. Definitely check this one out if you haven't. I can't recommend this enough. And coming in at number 1, this is the album that, one of the very first albums in 2019 that truly wowed me, truly won me over, and the more I listen to it, the more I love it, the more I appreciate it, and yeah. My number 1 album of 2019 is Funereal Presence with Ageless. Oh my god. The minute I first heard the song wherein 7 celestial beasts are revealed to him, I knew I was immediately going to fall in love with it. Hearing those cowbells, hearing those riffs, those reverb vocal parts, just an overall tremendous, tremendous song. But the rest of this album is just as brilliant, if not more so. Bestial Devotion really has a true passion project here with Funereal Presence. The Archer Takes Aim was a really, really good album, but Ageless is 10 times better and everything more. I really, really love this album a lot. Like I mentioned, the vocal work, the drum parts, the guitar riffs, the fact that he's doing everything on this album is just an incredibly impressive testament as to how hard Bestial Devastation works. And to deliver 4 super lengthy tracks and have something memorable and special happen with each and every single one of them makes me appreciate and love this album that much more. There were a lot of really high quality albums that were released in 2019, but I think the most high quality one of them all to me is Ageless by Funereal Presence. I mean, beautifully, expertly crafted musicianship, well-established lyrics, great vocals, great music, just an overall awesome package. And I definitely would recommend any of you who haven't heard Ageless by Funereal Presence to go pick up a copy and listen to this for yourself. This is the real deal. This is legit, and I fucking loved it. So yeah, my number 1 album of 2019 is Ageless by Funereal Presence. Go buy this, go pick this up wherever the hell you're able to. And with that being said, that concludes my top 10 list of 2019. If you happen to have a top 10 list of your own, please drop it in the comments. Let me know what your favorite releases of 2019 were. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get the occasional, where's this album, where's that album. But like I said, this is my list, not yours. Put your own list in the comments and let's talk about it. But yeah, lots of great things to come here on this channel for 2020, and I will definitely do my best to keep you all in the know of what great extreme metal is out and running in 2020. So, yeah. I'm going to conclude this video. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel, and until next time, Armijo out.